I think it's good. I think it's fair because at $80 later on, you may be like, oh yeah, I do want some discs. Yeah, let me go get that for $80.
Yeah,
I feel like it's nice. I feel like it's a good deal.
Are you crazy? Is that your problem?
I mean, still, again, if you want to get the digital, $450 up front, and then later on, if you want to be physical, $80.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's
a solid deal.
Yeah, that's a solid deal.
Anybody.
I can buy all the cable TV I want. Well, you out of your mind? You pay money for cable? You're stupid.
Now, usually when any gaming news comes out, I'm in bed or I'm playing games up late till night. Because of the time zone differences, I always see it a bit later. So when I wake up in the morning and open up Twitter/X, or nobody calls it X, to be honest with you, nobody's going to get used to calling it X. So we'll just stick with Twitter. I open up Twitter and see a post by Alex saying, a console revision with a price increase on the digital version. Usually the price of consoles should go down with the revisions, not up. So the post he retweeted on the link to the PlayStation blog, so I had to go and have a look and see what was going on. Smaller design comes with 1TB storage for PS5 and PS5 Digital Edition. New model provides an option to add a Blu-ray disc drive to the PS5 Digital Edition, which I think this is cool. Having more options is not a bad thing, and having more console revisions is pretty cool. So what's the price increase, you might ask? So, to start with, the disc drive itself is going to cost $80 on top of what you paid, so this is going to end up costing more than the original PS5 by $30. But the spookiest part about this is the conversion isn't right. So it said there's $80. I had a quick Google search. It should have been £65 in the UK. It shouldn't translate to being £100 in the UK. And then with it being €120, that doesn't translate right neither. And that's Sony fucking the UK and the European markets all over. This PS5 Slim model is probably Sony starting to think that's it, we're going for an all digital future. It's what a lot of these fanboys don't really want, because some of them weirdly still go and buy discs. I haven't bought a disc since 2016. So looking at the pricing models, we'll look at the US one, saying PS5 with a disc drive is going to be 500 USD. Now that is the same price as the PS5 already, I'm sure it is. And then the digital edition somehow is $50 more than the normal digital version. Now, is this because they put an extra tiny scrap of storage in the console? I have no idea. $50 for what? Just over 300 gigabytes of storage? It doesn't seem worth it to me, especially now that the price of NVMEs have gone down significantly. And for anyone that wants to say, oh, it's because it's a super speed one, nah, that's just nonsense. Sony's just found a way to extract more money from your wallets. And the same thing in the UK is $479.99 for the console with a disc drive, and the PS5 Digital Edition is $389.99. So this is definitely a rip-off. Usually these mid-gen refreshes or slim models are cheaper. They're cheaper to develop, and they should be offered to the consumer at a lower price than the normal console. Now, to be honest with you, as someone that owns a PS5, I don't see any reason to go and buy this slim model, because you are getting the same product, more or less, for more money. You'd have to be dumb to go and buy this. But there are people out there that want to go and buy it. But before I do that, I did have a look at disk drive prices, just in case I thought it was a complete rip-off. And it seems like if you just want to buy a standard disk drive for a PC or a laptop, they are pretty expensive for Blu-ray ones, so the pricing wasn't that bad. I just don't know why the US one is so much cheaper than the UK one. And plus, if you want to stand your PS5 up vertically, for some weird reason, you have to pay $30 for a stand. It doesn't come in the box, even though you're paying more for the console this time. Like the original PS5, the stand to have the console vertical or horizontal comes packaged in the box. So now you're paying more and getting less. So for some weird reason, they want to give you this stand and charge you $30 for it. But like you saw in the intro, there was a little video by JTech. Let's go and check that out.
Hey, geez.
That's Sony just dropping bombs that the internet won't be able to ignore. Like,
Of course not.
this is smart. Yes, it's not cheaper, and you will probably be more beneficial to be cheaper, but if you know your value, like Nintendo, then don't go cheaper.
Wait a minute. Is the
Dropping bombs that the internet can't ignore? Definitely. Because of the fucking price increase. And now they're being like Nintendo, if you know your value, you don't go cheaper. That's bullshit. If Sony want to sell more consoles, then make it a more reasonable price. I'm not asking for a fucking half price cut, but a decent amount. Never in the history of console, through mid-gen refreshes, has there ever been a stagnant price, or even a price increase. Consoles normally go down in price, with Nintendo being a weird exception. For all PlayStations, all Xboxes in the past, when there's a revision, they always go down in price. So this is a bullshit argument, JTech.
so they're charging $500 for the digital this time?
No,
Without
$450 for the digital and $500 for the physical.
Okay.
And if you want to get the disc drive at a later date, you can at $80.
Okay, that's on point. That's not that's not crazy.
That's not crazy. I think it's
Yeah,
good.
I mean,
I think it's fair because at $80 later on, you may be like, oh yeah, I do want some discs. Yeah, let me go get that shit for $80.
Yeah.
I feel like it's nice. I feel like it's a good deal. I mean, still, again, if you want to get the digital, $450 up front, and then later on, if you want to be physical, $80.
I think consoles suck. I think that exclusive games suck dick. I think PC gaming is better in every single fucking way. And I wish consoles would die.
How the hell can they find this is a good deal? No way is this a good deal. How can they be okay with Sony wanting to charge them more and give them less? I have no idea. These consoles should be cheaper now. But all we are seeing since this console generation started is price increases constantly. And Sony are now turning into Apple. I'm sorry, I think Fratanga said it in his video as well. But he's right, Sony are turning into Apple of the fucking gaming market. They want to raise the price as much as they can because they know simps like you are going to go out there and buy it no matter what. There's no reason for you to go out there and buy this slim model, but I know for a fact people like JTech are going to give Sony their money willy-nilly no matter what.
I think it's good. I think it's fair because at $80 later on, you may be like, oh yeah, I do want some discs. Yeah, let me go get that shit for $80.
Yeah.
I feel like it's nice. I feel like it's a good deal. I mean, still, again, if you want to get the digital, $450 up front, and then later on, if you want to be physical, $80.
Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's solid.
A solid deal.
Yeah,
That's
that's
not
a
gonna
solid
kill
deal.
anybody.
Yeah, it's better than Game Pass, but yeah, I think it's a good deal.
Well, I mean, shit. You got to look at that. That thing is a fucking like hydro flask.
Big shout out to PlayStation Gamer 23 on Twitter for tagging me in the news because it is a red alert. God damn. Man, like Microsoft just can't do anything right now because it's like PlayStation knows that they're struggling to like be relevant and they're making it hard for them.
And here we go again. It always has to go, well, Microsoft aren't as good as PlayStation, or PlayStation is better than Microsoft or Xbox, whichever way you want to put it. They can't talk about PlayStation without talking about Xbox. Most of these PlayStation fanboys channels talk about Xbox more than the console that they're screaming and shouting about most of the fucking time. Why can't you just talk about the topic at hand? Why do you have to always compare it to Xbox? And yes, Sony are selling more units than Xbox, but Xbox games are available on more platforms than Sony's games are, so Xbox don't need to sell the consoles, because you can play their games on PC, mobile phone, on a fucking Samsung TV. You can play near enough anywhere. They need to stop comparing PlayStation and Xbox, because it's getting real sad now.
They're making it really, really, really hard for them. Damn.
Dude, at this point, the best thing that they could do is sit up there and say, you know what, we're going to put all our games on other consoles.
Yeah, and it's funny because we're hearing information about the Call of Duty shit, and we're finding out they're not even going to put any of the games from 2023 on Game Pass. And that's what the Xbox fans are expecting. I mean, obviously, if that was to happen, they would lose tons of money.
Well, there is no proof of that, so we'll just have to wait and see on that one. And Game Pass is a better deal than anything Sony has thrown out so far, so even if we get every Call of Duty from 2022 backwards, it's still a pretty good deal, because I'd like to go and visit those. I'd like to go and revisit those old campaigns, especially Modern Warfare 2, and it'd be nice to get Modern Warfare 2 remastered on Game Pass. I think it'd be pretty cool. So JTech is full of shit. I think the PS5 Slim is a rip-off, but he thinks it's a good deal. But then we have J-Dub. He says the PS5 digital doesn't come with a vertical stand. Xbox Series X does. It's called the plate. And comparing the Xbox Series S to a potato, obviously. And in all fairness, I say the Xbox Series S is a really good deal. It's not the most powerful console, but to get you into the newest generation of console gaming, I think the Xbox Series S is a great deal, especially if you get like Game Pass for a year. There's shit tons of games on there you can play for the price the console comes at. Then we have Saltus Gaming. How long before Xbox copies the detachable disc drive on the PS5 Slim? You know, since they copy everything. Xbox have already decided on their future with disc drives, and to be honest with you, the next Xbox might not even happen. They might just stick to all cloud, but I doubt it. The next generation of Xbox will be a thing, and having a detachable drive actually makes more sense than anything. Just so you have the option to play all the older games that you've bought, but the all digital future is going to be the future, and the PlayStation 6 is probably, I'm 95% sure, is going to be all digital, and they're going to give you the option to buy a disc drive to play all your old games, because that is the future of gaming. I know you're Saltus Gaming again, saying I know Xbox gamers aren't talking about the value and price increase of consoles when a majority of them bought this shit console gen. Laughing my ass off. You're a bunch of hypocrites. PS5 Slim and stay salty. Fucking hell. Honest to God, defending this price increase is the last thing you should be doing. How on earth do they think this is a good deal to pay more money for getting less? I have no idea. It baffles me how much money these ponies are willing to spend on inferior hardware. This is old tech now. It's so outdated and so underpowered, and it's been proven because games are running at 30 FPS on this, plus the Xbox as well. That is still no saint, but unless you get a PS5 Pro that'll run games at a better frame rate with higher fidelity, these consoles are not worth the money anymore. Plus you could probably build yourself a decent PC for a little more than what these consoles are worth, and you can play much more games that's available just on the PlayStation 5 alone. Because there's no content for the PlayStation 5 at the moment, Spider-Man 2 is the only really good game they're going to get this year, because everything else has been less than mid. I mean, Final Fantasy 16 looked good to start with until I saw what it actually was, and it's not good. It's just a cinematic game, that's all it is. The gameplay looks really mid on Final Fantasy 16. Spider-Man better hit hard for PlayStation this year, because otherwise they're going to find out really quickly that the console is not worth having anymore. And that'll do it for me. What do you guys think of the PS5 Slim? Do you think it's worth it? If you don't have a PlayStation anymore, would you buy it, or would you just go for the original model, which is probably going to cost you less, especially if you're going to get a digital one? Let me know in the comments below. That'll do it for me today. Thank you guys so much. If you like the video, press like. If you dislike it, well, you dislike it. There we go. Press like, comment, share, subscribe if you so choose to. I'll see you guys in the next one.